The Q&A addressing the needs of children with disabilities and IDEA's discipline provisions document includes questions and answers in sections related to these specific topics. Those topics are obligations to meet the needs of eligible children with disabilities under IDEA, an overview of IDEA's discipline procedures, change in placement, interim alternative educational setting, special circumstances, manifestation determination review or MDR, IDEA's requirements for functional behavior assessment, FBAs, and behavior intervention plans, BIPs, provision of services during periods of removal, protections for children not yet determined eligible for services under IDEA, application of IDEA discipline protections in certain specific circumstances, resolving disagreements, and state oversight and data reporting responsibility. It also includes a glossary of key terms and acronyms that are used within the guidance document. The document we're going to be referring to includes that glossary of key terms, and these are important terms to know as you review the information provided. We'll highlight a few of those terms now. Informal removal, although not defined in IDEA and its implementing regulations, means action taken by school personnel in response to a child's behavior that excludes the child for part or all of the school day, or even an indefinite period of time. These exclusions are considered informal because the school removes the child with a disability from class or school without invoking IDEA's disciplinary procedures. Informal removals are subject to IDEA's requirements to the same extent as disciplinary removals by school personnel using the school's disciplinary procedures. Informal removals include administratively shortened school days when a child's school day is reduced by school personnel outside of the individual education program or IEP team and placement process in response to the child's behavior. A disciplinary change in placement or change in placement under IDEA for purposes of removal of a child with a disability from the child's current educational placement for disciplinary reasons means a child with a disability who has been removed from their current educational placement for disciplinary reasons for more than 10 consecutive school days, or that the child has been subjected to a series of removals that constitute a pattern. One, because the series of removals total more than 10 school days in a school year. Two, because the child's behavior is substantially similar to the child's behavior in previous incidents that resulted in the series of removals. And three, because of such additional factors as the length of each removal, the total amount of time the child has been removed, and the proximity of the removals to one another. This determination is made by the district and triggers IDEA's discipline protections, including a manifestation determination review, and is subject to review through the due process and judicial proceedings. In-school suspension, although not defined in IDEA and its implementing regulations, means an instance in which a child is temporarily removed from their regularly assigned classroom or classrooms for disciplinary purposes, but remains under the direct supervision of school personnel. Direct supervision means school personnel are physically in the same location as students under their supervision. An in-school suspension would be considered a part of the days of suspension addressed in the regulations unless the child is afforded the opportunity to continue to appropriately participate in the general curriculum, continue to receive the services specified on the child's IEP, and continue to participate with non-disabled children to the extent they would have in their current placement. Portions of a school day that a child had been suspended may be considered as a removal in regard to determining whether there is a pattern of removals as defined in the regulations. Manifestation Determination Review, or MDR, under IDEA means the decision as to whether the conduct in question was caused by or had a direct and substantial relationship to the child's disability, or if the conduct in question was the direct result of the LEA's failure to implement the child's IEP, including a behavior intervention plan if required by the IEP. The LEA, parent, and relevant members of the child's IEP team, as determined by the parent and the district, must review all relevant information in the student's file, including the child's IEP and any behavior intervention plan, any teacher observations, and any relevant information provided by the parent. This review must be conducted within 10 school days of any decision to change the placement of a child with a disability because of a violation of the Code of Student Conduct. An interim alternative educational setting, or IAES, as currently defined for purposes of discipline data collected under IDEA Section 618, means an appropriate setting determined by the child's IEP team or a hearing officer in which the child is placed for no more than 45 school days. This setting enables a child to continue to receive educational services so as to enable them to participate in the general education curriculum, although in another setting, and progress toward meeting the goals set out in the IEP. As appropriate, the setting includes provisions of an FBA and behavioral intervention services and modifications to address the behavior violation so that it does not recur. Special circumstances under IDEA means a violation of a code of conduct because the child, one, carries a weapon to school or possesses a weapon at school, on school premises, or to or at a school function under the jurisdiction of the state education agency or district. Two, they knowingly possess or use illegal drugs or sells or solicits the sale of a controlled substance while at school, on school premises, or at a school function under the jurisdiction of the SEA or district, or has inflicted serious bodily injury upon another person while at school, on school premises, or at a school function under the jurisdiction of the SEA or district.